feel like you can kind of carry that over to different films, and that's what makes them stand out and unique, right? Everyone that we've covered so far is relatively unique. Sure, they might feel similar to others, but there's still moments and times where it's like, oh, okay, like this is different. Like when she looks in the mirror and everything, or just these little extra pieces that kind of make it stand out. I mean, and obviously it stands out enough for us to pick it and talk about it.
I love it. And he's a good stunt coordinator when he was chosen to be the stunt coordinator on Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, because David Leitch directed that, and he's a former stuntman.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So if a stuntman director hires you to be a stunt coordinator, your money.
Pretty much. It's almost like passing on the baton and being like, look, I'm out of this world now. Someone's got to rule it. Maybe it's you. And that's the test, and he passed. You know what I mean? All
right. So I'm going to pick my third one, and then we'll then you'll do your third one, then we'll head on break, then we'll finish it up. But my third one is, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say Nonstop. The bathroom fight in there. I think I'm going to choose Nonstop between Anson Mount's Jack and Liam Neeson's Bill Mars, where they fight in a airplane bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, so I've gone from prison bathroom, and then I went to, then I went to house bathroom, airplane bathroom. What I like, too, is the stunt guy on this was Raphael Kayanen, and he did the knife fights in The Hunted, directed by Friedkin, which is close quarter stuff.
Okay.
Which
makes sense.
Those are good. And this is a good fight. It's a good close quarter fight. The one thing, they even answered a question. And a fight scene's good when I just thought to myself, while they're fighting in this bathroom, I'm like, everybody on the plane is going to hear this. Everyone knows what's going on. But then they cut to the plane and it's all bumpy and choppy and no one notices. In movie logic, it answered my question as I was asking it. And that's pretty good filmmaking right there. And it proves that just Liam Neeson can snap people's necks like butter.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah, it does. But and I have to agree with you, though. It's the pacing thing, too. Because when it starts and it's the close quarters and it's the heavy hitting, which is impressive. Like, regardless of how you feel about the rest of the film, or, you're tired of, like, seeing, the old actor being the badass kind of thing, like, the choreography in this is impressive to be able to keep it confined to such a space and convey such an intensity. But you're right. There is the pacing thing of like, these guys are getting hot and heavy real quick. And all of a sudden it cuts to and you're like, oh, that's why. Oh, okay. Corey Stoll's in this movie. That's right.
Scoot McNairy.
Okay. I love Scoot McNairy, dude. Based on the name alone. And then his acting ability second.
Killing Them Softly, him and Ben Mendelsohn. They're so good.
Killing Them Softly is so underrated. That is
underrated.
Such an incredible film.
Yeah. I think people just didn't know what to expect because it got an F Cinema score. And there's a lot of heavy breathing in it. I think that could throw people off. A lot of heavy.
And you know what? We see a Gandolfini that we normally don't see.
Yeah, I love that.
It was so good.
Oh, it's a grand Gandolfini in that one.
A Gandolfini.
Jeez Louise. And I do love though that in this scene there's some cool stuff because you get the body work, you get the head work, and the mirror gets broken. But then Liam Neeson. This annoys me though. When Liam Neeson sticks his thumb on Jack's throat, his artery, right there to kind of cut down the blood flow, I would be so mad, Nick, if I was in a bathroom fight with somebody and they just put their thumb on my neck. Like, get out of here.
Yeah. They might as well grab your forearm and start rubbing back and forth to give you like a little burn kind of thing. Yeah. It's the same type of annoyance. It's like, what do you stop it?
Yeah. Imagine that. You're just going, ah! How did Mark go down? This is large Northern Irish guy came up to him and put his thumb on his neck. Took him out.
That's it? Yeah. He tried to punch himself in the face, but because the thumb was in the neck, he couldn't reach. What about his other arm? It fell asleep during the fight. The fight is the weirdest thing.
And then he grabs his wrist and does that work on it, and then the guy goes for the gun, and then there's a headlock, and then there's an inverted headlock followed by a neck snap because the guy just won't put that gun down.
No, he won't. And then we see something that I think we rarely see in a fight scene, particularly a bathroom fight scene, remorse, right? He doesn't want to do this. He's just trying to stop and make it work out. He doesn't want to, but he kind of has to. His life is on the line, and if he goes, then he can't complete his mission. He can't stop and be the hero of the day and save and blah, blah, blah. And then he even, like, at the end, he's like, I need to, no one can see this, click over to occupied. And then he goes off and he does his thing, which makes me think, like, okay, vacant, why wouldn't you try to say it was occupied? Like, could you imagine if somebody walks up there, but then they hear these grunts and groans and they're like, oh, I'm going to give this at least a 5. Like, I'm not coming back up here for a bit.
Yeah. Whatever's happened, give me a courtesy flush.
Yeah, or 2.
Yeah. And also, we forgot about something. The phone choke.
Yes. Because for some reason when I see it in my head, I immediately think knife, right? Because that's usually, it's either your hand or a knife, but it's just dawning on me, yeah, it's a phone.
It's choking him with a phone. Phone choke. What's worse? A thumb to the neck? Or a phone choke?
I would say thumb to the neck because that's just one point. Whereas the phone choke, yeah, the phone's there, but like there's the arm pressure as well. So it's a little more evenly distributed instead of just one spot in your neck. Because when that thumb's gone or that poke is gone, you're focused on that one spot. It's not like a soreness in general that you can move past. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Man, that'd be the worst. Oh, no, I'm going to say I know the word in my head, but it's the carotid artery, right? That's what they would,
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree. I think it's because it's right on that spot where like the carotid goes up right into the mandible. If we want to get talk about bone structure, like mankind in here with the mandible claw just getting in there.
What if you just missed the artery though, and you're just on a random part of the throat? The guy's just like, this hurts. Like it's not killing me, but it's very uncomfortable.
I'm not a fan of this. What a terrible masseuse you are.
Yeah. Can you stop? Okay, I'll quit.
Bill. Just all right already.
You slap his hand off and you just walk away.
Look, I'm really sorry, okay? Can I have my nose back now?
Oh, stop trying to frame you. Just you still have it. And you didn't take Ricky's. You took mine.
It's not even fair. He started it.
There's no coming back from that, too. If a crowd of people sees that happen to you, you're not going to get any sympathy for that.
Oh, no. If I'm like a 30-something and my kids are there and someone takes my nose, I'm leaving. I'm leaving the family behind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go start somewhere new as an electrician.
You're going to play fastball. Where were they going? The Way. And you're just going to put that song on and you're just going to drive. How many times can you listen to Fastballs? The Way. How many times on a road do you think you could jam out to that?
Oh, I'm going to find out. But honestly, I'm going to say over 10, but under 15. Whoa. It's a longer song.
Yeah, there's a long guitar solo. And then you think it ends and it doesn't.
Yeah, right? It's one of those. It's much like Do You Love Me by the Contours. It fades out, and you're like, oh, okay, we got the point. You know what I mean? He can dance again. But then, wham, it comes right back, and you're like, okay, I just had the volume changing there, and now my ears hurt. So thank you for that, The Contours.
Sometimes when I play Foghat Slow Ride, I feel like I'm a different human when the song ends, just because it's so long.
It is a bit of a long boy. You don't realize it. I think it's one of those where they edit it for the radio, right? And then it just – and even in the beginning, right, you get the feedback coming in real sharp and the reverse hi-hat sound. You're like, what's going on here? And then it hits you, Slow Ride, and you're like, yeah, you're right. You're right, Foghat.
Let's get me out of here. All right, third pick. What's your third pick?
My third pick, I think we're going to amp it back up a little bit and bring some people into the mix. I'm going to go with the Warriors when they took on the Punks in the bathroom.
What a great brawl. What a good, that is everything. Everything in it.
Everything. Rollerblades, switchblades. I can't think of another
Bats,
blade word.
spray
but
paint.
If there were a myriad, right? Yeah. Old beat up Converse shoes.
Biting.
Native American headwear.
Yep.
Paint chips, right? We don't get a lot of paint chips anymore. Chains. Haven't seen. Does anybody really use chains in a fight sequence? Like, these people brought chains with them to fight. If you're in an industrial or warehousing situation, right, and you see a chain, okay, I'm going to pick it up and use it as a weapon, right? It's more of a defensive thing, reactionary. But these guys brought chains. Who does that anymore?
Yeah. It depends on the length of the chain. If someone gives me a 12-foot long chain, I'm going to be useless with it. I'll just throw it at the person. But if someone gives me a 24-inch chain, you could probably bonk somebody, put some locks on the end of it.
You could, but I feel like anymore, like everybody's always like, the bigger the chain, the better. And I'm like, you know what? Just give him like a little 4 or 5 inch chain. That's going to get just as much work done as these other longer chains. Like, it doesn't matter. It's more about, the motion that you're swinging the chain or the thickness of the bolt and the actual, link itself than the chain length. Like, I think that's, that stuff doesn't matter.
The problem with chain fighting is that you need a distance, right? It's not good close combat. So you need footwork. But no one in this world has footwork. I'd say 0.01% of the population knows how to move their feet around during a fight. So you're swinging a chain.
Rollerblade guy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're swinging a chain and someone just closes the distance, it's all over for you.
Yeah, that's done. And when you get close like that, they're going to catch the kind of the center or the mid of the chain, right? They're not getting the end. The end is what hurts. That weight at the end that's whipping and striking a part of your body. But if you're catching it in like the arm or something, again, it's the phone arm bar versus the poke in the neck. You know what I mean? You can kind of take a body blow, but then when you get hit with the tip of something else, that's where it's going to sting. And that's when you're like, hey, not fair. Give me back my nose.
And now you hit me with a chain. What I love about this fight is everyone gets a chance to shine. So Rembrandt does get wonked in the stomach with a bat, but Rembrandt does have the opening strike where he sprays the person in the eyes with the spray paint. And then you have, Snow and Cochise actually wrecking people in this. Swan takes some licks in this fight. Swan's very good at dodging baseball bats, terrible at dodging fists, I've noticed.
And it's weird, too, because it's like, you know what, dude? I'm like, you can pick up whole park benches, but you can't, duck a couple fists? Am I thinking of the right character?
No, that's Ajax. Right Ajax was caught by them.
Man.
James
Remar. There goes my cred. There goes all my cred. It's out the door.
But, oh, man, how about when Vermin, who's kind of a brick, gets picked up by one of the punks and throws him into the mirror and just smashes it? That's a strong punk right there.
It is. But at the same time, it's kind of believable. You know what I mean? Nothing in this fight is fantasy or out of the realm or over stylized. It's almost like the fight at the beginning of Clockwork Orange, where everybody's just going at it. It's no holds barred, and we're just going to see what happens. We're not stopping until the cops show up or everybody's down. And it's just, I feel like instead of the 80s kind of synthy stuff we get, it should be Ballroom Blitz going on.
Oh yeah,
that'd be great.
Oh, that's a ballroom. Oh man, or a song called Bunkhouse Brawl.
Ooh,
by
I like that too.
Seven Dust.
Who? It's the cover of the original by Foghat.
Yeah, exactly. The Bunkhouse Brawl. They say it 40 times.
Yeah. Not 41, not 39, but 40.
Not 73.
That's the right amount of, nope, not 73. It's the right amount of bunkhouse.
I tell you what, though, I'd ally with the punks after this is all done.
Really?
Because, yeah, we fought in assault. They were in their territory. So they were in their territory. But compared to some of these other gangs that they fight, the punks seem to have some honor. They're not bringing guns into it. It's a relatively fair fight. I mean, they have a couple more people, but they don't. It's not that bad. They seem like tough guys. The leader punk on the roller skates. Imagine what he could do without roller skates. That's John. That's John Wick levels right there. I just think they're tough, and I think they don't seem dishonorable. They just seem like they want to scrap. They might be a good ally for you.
Okay. Yeah, I like the logic behind it. Personally, I like a little more pageantry. So I think I'm more in line with the baseball Furies.
Yeah.
Punks get it done. The Orphans, I feel like they're a third tier. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie.
They don't even get invited to the party.
Right? They're not even there. And yeah, you can pull a switchblade out all you want, but it's not a switchblade on roller skates.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Who wins? Baseball Furies or punks?
You know what? After your logic, I kind of have to give it to the punks because they're going to show up with, their utensils and tools. They're a little more honorable, and I think they're going to go for it. They're going to scrap their way and fight it because they know. You know what I mean? It's almost like, hey, it's the Yankees or the Browns, right? Mm-hmm. And it's going to be the Yankees. And I know what you're thinking. Browns aren't even a baseball team. Exactly. that's how outmatched they would feel, but they're going to fight back and they're going to be there. You know what I mean?
The baseball Furies are good runners. They're not good fighters.
Mm-hmm.